Hello and welcome to the D. Louise book series. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy stuff going on here. And on Fridays, we recap Star Trek Next Generation episodes. I'm a series person. I like series. I like to binge series. And after we finish Star Trek, we'll head into Voyager. We are on season 7, disc 3, episode 263. And there were some awkward moments in this episode. There were some, yay, glad to see you moments in this episode. But I don't know. We'll have to judge. Will we like this? Will we not like it? What will happen? Will I have questions? I don't know if I have questions yet because I haven't. We haven't been through the episode yet. But when we go to the episode, be prepared for questions. All you Star Trek experts out there, be prepared for questions. Let's see now. Parallels. We have an overview from Worf. Well, that's a little diff. Personal log start date 47391.2. I'm returning from the Batless competition on Focus Day. The conditions were difficult. Several contenders were maimed, but I was triumph. I won the champion standing. I look forward to resuming my duties aboard the Enterprise. However, I am anticipating a troubling situation. Okay. I wonder what that troubling situation is. So Riker says, it looks like we're going to have to head into the Argus array. This is the third time this year it's stopped relaying data. Starfleet's beginning to think it's more than a simple malfunction. I want you to start a long-range scan once we get... Lieutenant, are you listening to me? Yes. You seem awful tense for a man who just came back from vacation. Today's my birthday. Okay. So, because it's my birthday, I assume that you or one of the others were trying to mount an unexpected social gathering. A surprise party? Mr. Wolf, I hate surprise parties. I would never do that to you. I'm sorry, Commander. Settle in. I'll meet you on the bridge. Aye, sir. Then he pretends to leave. The lights come on, and everybody's in there with a surprise party, just like he anticipated. So, and then we have a nice little party. I wanted to point out, after 7 seasons, and he's been gone 3 or 4 seasons by now, I forget which, there's still a blank space after Brett Spinner's name. They never redid the credits. And I was thinking, excuse me, itch, that since he was in this episode, his name would reappear. But no, it's going to be appearing as a guest star or a surprise visitor. But it's not in the opening credits. I was kind of bummed. So the party's still going on. We've come back from opening credits. And there's some small stuff that Worf is just going, about. There's just, his cake was supposed to be chocolate and it's vanilla. Um, there's just Alexander's picture. He's got more ridges than he's supposed to or something. There's So Worf is going, something's just not right. But he blows it off as just, stuff. So Picard's at the birthday party and they're eating the yellow cake. And what remember I had said that Worf thought it was chocolate. And it's vanilla but it's yellow cake. And Picard's there. Now that's gonna change. We'll see what happens. So then they get to the array and it all looks fine. The array appears to be functioning normally, sir. That can't be right. We were told the array stopped working relaying data 6 days ago, Riker says. The array is still transmitting data, sir, but no longer sending the information to the Federation. It appears someone has redirected its imaging systems. Where is the information being sent now? Sector 19658, sir. And I am unable to access it in the main computer, so it is impossible to determine the exact location. What's in that sector? It's uninhibited. There could be a ship or subspace relay system receiving the data. Riker says, I suggest we beam a repair crew aboard the array. We can begin downloading their image logs, find out what the array has been observing for the past 6 days. Make it so. Now, I was trying to go for a two shot. You know how Star Trek, he talks, it's in his face, the camera turns to her face, to his face, to her face. I wanted a group shot. I just wanted to show that the two of them were talking. Um, I've been meaning to speak to you about Alexander. Oh, it's never been easy for me having Alexander aboard. I've always tried to be a good father, to give him guidance, but he seems to have his own mind about some things. Most children do. I could have not come this far without your help. Alexander looks up to you. At times, I felt that you were almost like a mother to him. Worf, that's one of the nicest things you've ever said to me. One time, when I thought I was going to die, I asked you to watch over Alexander. I was wondering if you consider formalizing that arrangement. I want you to be Alexander's Sochim. His Sochim. You would become his surrogate mother in case anything ever happened to me. You would be responsible for him. I don't know what to say. It's a great honor. So that would make me your closest analogy is stepsister. That would make my mother your stepmother. I had not considered that. It's a risk I'm willing to take. I accept. Lieutenant Worf, please report to engineering. Would you want Lexana Troi as a step? She's too much. We love her though, but she's too much. What about Picard? What would he do? Good lord. So then we're in engineering. We have analyzed the imaging logs. It appears the array was reprogrammed to observe several Federation sites. This is Deep Space 5, Starbase 47, the Ladra Colony, and Utopia Plania shipyards. They're responsible for new starship development. Someone is using the array for covert surveillance of the Federation. That is our theory, Data says. We believe unauthorized access was made 6 days ago. The imaging logs from the day show a ship anchoring the array. That's a Cardassian ship, Galar class. We're only 3 light years from Cardassian space. They would have easy access to the array. Mr. Worf, start a long-range scan of the region. See if there's any Cardassian ships nearby. Aye, sir. Worf, there's a propulsion analyst of the Kardashian ship. You might try scanning it for energy configuration. Worf has a dizzy moment. See what happens there. So this is when things get fuzzy or different or alternate or funny or uncomfortable. So then he goes to see Dr. Crusher. And he says, I did experience some dizziness earlier today at my birthday celebration. Sounds like you're having some kind of side effects from the concussion. I can give you some Vertizine for the dizziness, but I'd like you to rest. Doctor, perhaps you're thinking of another patient. I have no concussion. Wolf, you came here this morning complaining of ringing in your ears. I scanned you. You had a concussion. You don't remember this? No. Temporary memory loss is this for this kind of injury is common. Do you remember telling me about the Batless tournament? You said that one of the competitors hit you over the forehead. That's why you lost the match. I won. And then he goes to his quarters, and the trophy is smaller than the one he had originally. And his personal log says he won ninth place instead of winning. And Dr. Crutcher says, I'm sure this is very disturbing, but don't worry, your memories will return. The best thing you do right now is settle back into your normal routine. So then Data and Worf are talking. Lieutenant, have you completed the metallurgic scan of the array? Sir, the metallurgic scan, have you completed it? I do not remember you asking me to, Captain. There is a Cardassian ship approaching Galar class. Open a channel. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Starship Enterprise. You are in Federation territory. Please explain your presence here. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Oh, I said the right. We are wondering the same thing about you, Captain. Why would Starfleet ship want to venture so close to Cardassian border? We are repairing one of our subspace telescopes. I see. May we offer assistance? No, thank you. Everything is under control. If you don't mind my asking, what exactly is your telescope designed to do? It's a long-range subspace array used for gathering data on astrometrical phenomena. I am certain it would never be used to observe a neighboring species. Certainly not. Well then, best of luck with your repairs. Just try to make certain that your studies are limited to astronomical phenomena. Charming fellow, Rock says. That ship was responsible for reprogramming the array. What are you saying? It's the same class and energy configuration as the ship we saw in the imaging logs. The imaging logs? Are you suggesting that the evidence the Cardassians have tampered with the array? That you're using the array as surveillance? You saw the logs yourself. I haven't heard anything about this. Neither have I, Riker said. Commander Data showed the logs to you downloaded from the array. I know of no such logs. Mr. Worf, are you feeling all right? Things are going downhill from here. Then he's talking to Troy. And my first question for all those who are still watching, why is it only affecting Worf? Because he was away for whatever happened on the ship happened before he got there? Could that be it? Dr. Crusher says I'm experiencing further memory loss, but my instincts tell me it's more than that. I remember those imaging logs. I can tell you every detail, every word. Worf, let's assume for a second you're right, that things did happen as you remember them. Are you saying that everyone's memory on the ship has been altered but yours? And Geordi comes in. Worf, I wanted you to know that we re-examined the imaging logs. They don't show a Cardassian ship or any evidence that the array was reprogrammed. From what we can tell, the array suffered a simple mechanical failure. That's not right. I was certain that... And he has another dizzy spell. And 1 minute, the painting is the painting that Data painted, and now it's a battle cruiser. The painting has changed. He faints and he wakes up on the bridge. Red alert now, Mr. Wolf. What are you waiting for? This panel configuration is altered. I do not know how. Direct hit engineering section deck 42 shield generators are overloading. Number 1, he takes over the tactical. Firing 4 torpedoes, full spread. Direct hit on their main reactor. They're returning fire. Data says, Captain, we've received heavy damage to deflector system. Hull breaches 17 and 36. They get in this big fight, and Worf has no clue what's going on. Neither do we, by the way. Geordi's hurt. He's in sick bay. They don't show it. Worf ends up asking to be relieved of duty. He goes back to his quarters. Personal log stardate 47391.2. There has been a malfunction on the ship's main deflector. It will require 2 days of repair. As a result, I will not be able to complete in the Batless tournament on Focus 3. I've asked my brother to take my place. He does not have my prowess with the blade, but... Okay, now things are really screwed up. Now they're back in time. Then, after a few awkward moments of conversation, Troi says she is Worf's wife. I do not remember us, you and I, being mates. It is as if events, circumstances continue to change from moment to moment, but I am the only one who seems to be aware of it. Are you saying you don't remember the last 3 years? You don't remember us falling in love and getting married? I do remember the last 3 years, but they were different. We did not have this relationship. We were friends, but the Enterprise did not have a battle with the Cardassians. No one believes me. Whatever's wrong, whatever happened, I want you to know I believe you, Troi says. Then they are in engineering. Data says, I'm initiating a subspace scan to search for temporal anomalies on or off our ship. Counselor Troy, please report to sick bay. I'm on my way. Let me know if you need anything. Commander, how long have I been married to Counselor Troy? 2 years, 1 month, and 12 days. When did this relationship begin? It is my understanding your romantic affiliation began shortly after you recovered from your spinal injury on Stardate 45587. It was 6 months later you asked Commander Riker for his formal permission to court Counselor Troy. You felt to do otherwise would be dishonored. Then we were mated. I am not privy to the exact details of when or where your first coupling took place. No, that's not right. I'm detecting no temporal anomalies on the system. Perhaps we could try to pinpoint the exact moment when events became discontinuous. Do you remember the first change? Let me see. I was in sick bay. Dr. Crusher told me I had a concussion, but I do not remember that happening. Think back. Are you sure that was the first change? Yes. Before I was in engineering, I felt the waves of dizziness, and when I looked up, you and Commander LaForge were on the opposite side of the room. Captain Picard was gone. I thought I blacked out for a moment and had not you observed your movements. And at my birthday party, the cake was chocolate, and then it was yellow. And Commander Riker told me Captain Picard was not going to attend, and then he suddenly was there. We should try to find the commonalities in these events. Where were the people you were with? Everyone was at my party. Then I was with Counselor Troy and Commander LaForge came in. Geordi was present at all three locations. He was near me in each case just before I noticed the differences. There has to be connection. So they go speak to Geordi. So then they're in sick bay. Um, there do not appear to be any unusual readings, energy residuals from the plasma burns, the beginning of cellular decomposition. I see nothing that connects these bio readings to your recent sense of discontinuity. What about his visor? I see nothing unusual. Perhaps we should activate it. Hook it up to the diagnostic array and check it out. The visor is active. Worf is in red with 3 pips and a future com badge. He sways. Worf, are you alright? Data says, have you noticed another discontinuity? Dr. Crusher was not here. Dr. Aguara was. Dr. Aguara, my uniform has changed. What is my rank and position? You are commander and first officer. Are we still married? Choice is yes. I'm detecting a quantum flux in your cellular RNA. What does that mean? I do not know. We'll have to analyze these readings. So everything changes while they're in sick bay. And I wish I could show it, but legal issues, right? So now Riker is captain, Picard is gone. I have found the quantum flux in Worf's cellular RNA extends to subatomic level. It's asynchronous with normal matter. In essence, Captain, Mr. Worf does not belong in our universe. What? All in the universe resonates on a quantum level with a unique signature. The signature is constant. It cannot be changed through any known process. It is the basic function of our existence. Are you saying that Worf's quantum signature is different from ours? Yes, sir. I cannot explain it. He originates from a different quantum universe. Mr. Worf, you say that the discontinuities started to occur after you returned from your ballast tournament of Focus 3. Yes. Now, I know for a fact that you never attended that tournament and no shuttlecraft has left the Enterprise for over a month. I understand that, but I also clearly remember attending the tournament and returning to the ship in a shuttlecraft. Do you remember the route you took? Yes. Let's backtrack that course. See if there's any unusual readings or anomalies. Aye, sir. What Worf says, if I might require, how long have you been captain of the Enterprise? 4 years, ever since Picard was killed in the accident with the Borg. Yes, I do, but I remember it differently. So he was killed with the Borg. That's when they're having him killed. Not the other one with Q messing with himself, getting stabbed. Well, that would have been earlier, right? More changes are coming. A surprise visit. Surprise! Look who's here. And ranking too. Let's take a moment. We won't see his butt for a while. Where was I? Uh, Captain, I'm picking up a minor subspace disturbance of the Pat bow. Riker says full stop. Helm, Cardassian. Analyst Mr. Data, it appears to be a quantum fissure in the space-time continuum. On screen. Let's see if we can get it. So there's our quantum fissure. We discovered is a fixed point access to space-time continuum, a keyhole which intersects many other quantum realities. What do you mean quantum realities? For any event, there is an infinite number of possible outcomes. Our choice determines which outcomes will follow. But there is a theory in quantum physics that all possibilities that can happen do happen in alternate quantum realities. And somehow I've been shifting from one reality to another. That is correct. How did this happen? I'm just taking Wesley Crusher's appearance in this room. I wish they would do a group shot. It must have been great for him to come back. There's like no welcome or anything. He just suddenly appears and he's just suddenly there. It must have been a big surprise. I mean, he just shows up. He's not returning from somewhere. He's just automatically there. Do you wonder what happened in this particular time frame to promote his appearance in this episode? Oh. So, um, when Worf shuttlecraft came into contact with the quantum fissure, I believe its warp engines caused a small break in the barriers between quantum realities. Worf was thrown into a state of quantum flux. He immediately shifted into other realities. And Geordi's visor somehow triggered that effect? Exactly. The visor uses a subspace field pulse. I believe that whenever Geordi came near Worf, the field pulse intensified the quantum flux and pushed Worf into another reality. How can we find my original quantum state and return me to it? Wesley says we could scan the quantum fissure using a subspace differential pulse. Maybe we could locate the quantum state that shares Worf's signature and try to find a way to get him back. Excellent idea, Lieutenant. Wesley's not only back, but he's a lieutenant. So then we are back in Worf's quarters. The Impressionist painting is back in this time frame. It shifted again. And Troi is upset because her Worf may not come back, and she tells him that they have uh a little girl, Shanna, she's 2, and a 3-year-old boy, Eric Christopher. And Worf says, what about Alexander? And she's never heard of Alexander. So those are changes that are happening. But let's get back to Wesley Crusher, the lieutenant. Surprise! So the bridge has changed again. I've used a differential pulse to analyze over 10 million quantum states within the fissure, but I still haven't found the one with your signature. This may take time. Data says a Bajoran ship is approaching. Red alert. Sir, the Bajorans? Ever since the Majorans overpowered the Cardassian Empire, they've become more and more aggressive. Yesterday, they destroyed one of our subspace telecoms because they thought we were using it to spy on them. They're charging weapons, shields, return fire. They've damaged our power system, sir. It's caused an energy surge within this subspace. The quantum fissure is beginning to destabilize. Can we disengage the pulse? Too late, sir. The fissure goes into a rainbow, then more enterprises pop into existence. Uh-oh. Look at all those enterprises. All those duplicate crews. Which one is the real one? And after commercial break, they're still popping up. More and more enterprises. The Bajoran ship leaves. Data says the rate of quantum incursions is increasing exponentially. At this rate, the sector will be completely filled with enterprises within 3 days. Wesley says, Captain, we are receiving 285,000 hails. I wish I knew what to tell them. Mr. Data, can we stop the incursions? Perhaps refine the ship with that which Mr. Commander Worf's signature. How can we help them? It was Worf's shuttlecraft which transversed the fissure and weakened the barriers between quantum realities. If he re-enters the fissure in his original shuttle and emits broad spectrum field, it may be enough to seal the fissure and stop the additional realities from merging into our own. Then what? How do we get the enterprises that are already here back to where they belong? In theory, the act of sealing the fissure should restore the barriers between quantum states. The ships would return to their own realities. Lieutenant Crusher, send a general hail all ships. This is Captain Riker of the Enterprise. That is the Enterprise which is indigenous to this universe. We have all encountered a quantum anomaly. We think we have found a way to return all of us to our proper realities, but we need to find the ship which exhibits a quantum signature. Our Mr. Data will transmit the signature to you now. Picard is there. Um, It would appear that we have found the quantum signature you were looking for. Data believes that sending our Worf back through the fissures again, it would return all of us to our proper realities. Our Data has said the same thing. We need you to send your shuttlecraft Curie. We're launching it now. Thank you. It's good to see you, Captain. It's been a long time. Ah. So they're in the shuttle bay. Yes, sir. It matches Commander's warp quantum signet precisely. I have remodulated this tangent under to emit an inverse warp field. You will need to activate the field at the precise moment you enter the fissure. Assuming it works, will I find myself near my own ship? That is one possibility. However, the uncertainty principle dictates that time is a variable in this equation. You may end up several days before the event or several days after. There's no way to tell. I understand. And they leave. He leaves after embracing. Right. This enterprise does not want to go back to their own time frame because they're constantly under attack from Bajorans. They're everywhere. And all Riker says there's no choice. And everybody starts firing on the shuttlecraft. So he goes through the fusure, wakes up on the floor, gets up. He discovers that he won the bath lift, so he's back in his own time. So then we're walking down the hallway again. So you think this quantum fissure is nothing that we need to worry about? No, no, no. I believe the inverse field resealed it. I'm looking forward to your report. Something wrong? I know what you are planning. Sir, I will not be surprised. Surprise, I don't know what you're talking about. Of course you don't, Worf says. So Troy comes in holding the ball. Um, Welcome home, Worf. I hope you don't mind. I let myself in. I promised Alexander I'd feed his dazzling hissing beetle while you were away. So you do not live here? What's that supposed to mean? It's a long story. Happy Worf. Happy birthday, Worf. I wanted to give you a surprise, buddy, but I knew you'd hate it, so I talked him out of it. Thank you. I know Klingons like to be alone on their birthdays. I'm sure you'll have to meditate or hit yourself with a pain stick or something. Deanna, you do not have to leave. Oh, I have not had dinner. Would you like to have dinner? I'd love to have dinner. She does give him a birthday gift though. So, he invites her to stay for dinner. And that's how the episode ends. With force of nature, inheritance, and parallels. Brief visit by Wesley Crusher, and it's not mentioned. He was there. He visited. They wrote him in for an episode, and it was nothing. It's just it's heart wrenching that it was just a surprise. I mean, it was probably good for the crew and probably good for him to see him and that kind of stuff. But it was so short lived, and that Yeah, right. The actors and actresses will remember his visit, but the characters won't remember his visit because it was in another time fusion thingy. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you tune in next week for the Pegasus. We're almost to the end. We're almost to disc 4, 5, 6, and we're done. Can't believe season 7 is over. Or almost over, half over anyway. And if you could please hit the like and subscribe, I'd surely appreciate it. Thank you.